here we are back in the mix like 86. Do you know what? I was feeling like on death's door about an hour ago, and I thought, do you know what? We got to keep the consistency. You can't just stop doing videos because all of a sudden it's raining outside. Life's not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the fucking rain, my friends. And I thought the beauty of this is that I can do it sick, under the weather, whatever. But that's not me. Mr. Clean, I don't participate in illness. So, hence I'm on this call today. Now, topic of discussion is, in your 20s, on the road to success, should you be dating women? Or more specifically, a woman? Now, I've had the pleasure of being single and in a beautiful relationship. So this is going to come from my personal experience and how I felt when it comes to navigating this sort of environment. Now, the majority of women, especially in the early days, aren't going to be the best choice for you because you're busy, right? You got priorities, you got things to do. You don't need to be on a date 3 times a week. One, blowing your capital. That could be invested back into the business, investment, whatever it is you're working on at that time. As well as time. Your time is your most valuable asset when you're young. That needs to be going towards improvement, development, and making something of yourself. If all your man hours are going towards a woman, well, you know the result of that equation. Now, let's go pros and cons. Let's talk about not having a woman for an instance. So let's say you're by yourself, you've got all the time in the world, you're dialed in, you're focused. Shit is going to get done in this period, no doubt. You're going to have no distractions. Now the problem with that is, and I've found this myself, it's very easy to become introverted and a bit socially weird. There was a period of time when I really lost my chat. I wasn't quick with it. I was a bit of like that weird guy in the corner at parties. Like, didn't really want to, I don't go to parties, but you know what I mean, like the social events and things like that, your lunches, your dinners. And you just sit there, not really engage in any conversation, you know, just sit in the corner and kind of stay in my own lane. Just because purely you haven't exercised that muscle in a little while. And it's almost like you're stepping back into this foreign environment. And the reason that's not good is because communication and negotiation is life, is business. You will never succeed in business if you can't negotiate or communicate with your peers, your employees, your competition, your customers. That is a vital skill that you should never lose, and you should always be practicing in some way, shape or form. And that's sort of what this is for me as well. It's that digital diary where I can just improve my articulation and communication. Simple as that. Now that's one downside to this whole lock-in, staying on your own lane. However, there are a few positives. Like I said, you get your man hours back, you get your money, you get your time, which are arguably the most important things, especially in that early stages. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Now, in those early stages, I think it's fucking important to go fast. You need that escape velocity. Whatever it is you're doing, you need to double down. Sometimes that's going to mean cancelling holidays, saying sorry to the boys, I'm not going to make it this weekend. I've got shit to do. That's what it's going to take in those early days. There's a lot of sacrifice. Now that sucks, but at some point it needs to happen. You also need to learn to love your own company. You're stuck with you, man. Those Tuesday nights, those Wednesday nights when you're sitting in that apartment, there's no noise. It's just you and your own mind. Now, if you're not all on the same team, that's when this thing is going to start playing tricks on you. You know, every time you hear the story of someone killing themselves, overdosing in their hotel room, what was it? They were by themselves, and 99% of the time it was in the night. It was in the afternoon, where they've had time to sit and they feel very isolated. It can feel very alone. That's when your mind starts playing tricks on you. So you need to be in that environment and learn to build a bulletproof mindset. Something that can't be shaken. Something that doesn't rely on others. You know, just because you're dating a woman and she breaks up with you doesn't mean your world is over. It's like, okay, cool. Had a good time. If I hurry, baby, I can still make Cheyenne. That's the mentality. You know, still make Cheyenne, still got money for jam. Come on, boys, chin up. It's not the be all and end all. Learn to love your own company, because you're stuck with you, man, the rest of your life. You're stuck with you. So learn to love yourself, learn to love your own company. And that's what being alone is going to teach you. Vital skill, my friends, vital skill. Learn to love your own company. Because you're going to deal a lot with it. To be honest, you're going to deal a lot with it. And there's going to be ups and downs, pros and cons, negatives. And, you know, you can have all the guidance, all the communication with your peers, the positive feedback. But if you don't believe it, what's it really worth? It's nothing. The only validation can come from yourself internally. Otherwise, it all means nothing. You know, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside shall not prosper. If all of you's on the same time, you can't lose, my friend. You can't lose. You'll have bulletproof confidence. The way you get confidence to do things like this is because I fully support myself. I'm all on my same team. There's no enemy within. I'm not second guessing. I'm not reconsidering. I'm just flowing. I back myself in my decisions. So we just progress. We proceed. So now we're moving on to having a partner in a relationship. Now, I think it all comes down to the framing. Because in my opinion, it's always going to be better to be in a committed, loving relationship. The way I look at it, it's like you've got a personal assistant that loves you, that's committed to making you the best version of yourself, that wants you to succeed, and is basically your own personal assistant who you only have to pay in dinners and some loving. That's all. That's a good deal to me. And the main thing is, I think a lot of people get this wrong. You need to set the lay of the land. Like, a lot of these guys will be going on multiple dates and then stressing and panicking, saying, well, she's taking all my time and taking all my money. Well, say, look, babe, for this period, I need a season where I put my head down and get shit done. Is that all right with you? This is what I need to do in order to take us to that next level. If you see me as a long-term investment, this is something I need to do. I'm going to have to sacrifice this short term. We're not getting the Chinese. Sorry, you're not going to touch those chopsticks, those Japanese steels. It's not going to be happening. For the next short period of time, this is my time. I hope you can accept that. And this will help you decide whether it's a winner or a loser. Whether that's your wife or just a passing moment. Because at the end of the day, the deciding factor on whether or not you should have a woman is how committed is she to your success. Because ultimately, if she's looking at you as a long-term bet, your success is her success. Your life is going to become her life. And if you have a woman who can see that and invests in you accordingly, I see absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be in a relationship with that woman. You're only going to be more positive. You're going to be more talkative. You're going to be more fun to be around. And that's the thing that hasn't been discussed is women make your life fun. Like the boys, we don't give a fuck about dates. We don't give a fuck about birthdays. We don't really want to go too many places. We want to get shit done. We want to improve and we want to be fulfilled. However, when you do have that beautiful girlfriend and she's like, oh, you know, I've been looking at this restaurant, and at the time you're like, I can't really be fucked going to Long Wang. This is what they call me. Nah, but you know what I mean. Like, I can't be fucked going to this Chinese restaurant, or I can't be fucked really doing this. But then, you know, you put the suit on, 007. You get there, you pull that chair out, it's nice music going. The food comes, you're hungry, it's like, life's not so bad, this is fun, I'm enjoying this. This is the little bit the fruits of my labour. I've got the Opera House in the background. I've got a 0% Heineken. By the way, those 0% beers are an absolute game changer. This 2026, I've decided I'm going alcohol free. And actually, that's another thing to touch on. We'll talk about that in another episode. All 13 of you, tune in for that. Come on, ka-chow. But, yeah, you know, you do learn to appreciate life. And you kind of enjoy life through your woman. Like when she's having a good time, when she's smiling, she's happy. You're happy because you've given her this experience. And, you know, you learn to have a bit of chat. You learn to be quick-witted. You learn to have that conversation. Because when you sit down with your woman, You're at dinner for about an hour. You need to come up with conversation, ask her ideas, make her think. Now that's a skill because you can emulate that in a business deal, business lunch. That's how things are going to go. If you're the type of person who wants people to invest in your company, invest in yourself, meet new people, make deals, that sort of thing, at some point you're going to end up at a lunch with some geezer. Now you need to learn how to make him laugh, make him feel respected, make him feel important, make him feel heard, make him think. And these are all things that you can test with your girl. You know, I've been listening to a few of these like CIA operative, like mind tricks and shit like that. And you can test those on your girl as well in a nice way. In a nice way. Like use that time productively as well. Doesn't have to be a complete waste. But also that is a good time to decompress and just chill. Like you've worked 6 days this week. Day number 7. If you want to get a sushi, my man, get that sushi. And don't be stressed. Like enjoy that time with your lady. It's what life's about at the end of the day. And that's only going to inspire you to keep moving, keep pushing forward. And get more Sundays like that. Get more day number 7s where you can sit back and go, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what I did this week. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If you can sit there, look in the mirror and look yourself in the eye and say, you know what, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what you did this week. That's a win in my book. So that'll be all for today. Thank you, my friends. You've given you something to think about. And don't let this whole lock-in culture get the best of you and make you socially weird, because the reason you're doing this is to experience more life. You know, we're working to live. We're not living to work. So just keep that in mind. Keep pushing forward and good things will happen.